NFL fans, welcome once again to the Pro Football Insiders, and it's another episode of the PFIve. My name is Bryan Davis as we take a look at another one of the 32 teams getting ready for the NFL season right after Labor Day. I am pumped up. It has been a long time coming. We've been getting to watch preseason games, and that is great, and that gives us some insight. Let's talk about 5 things that you need to know about the Kansas City Chiefs coming up this season. Now, as you know, the Chiefs have been in 3 straight AFC Championship games. They did lose the last Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles. Some people are counting them out, saying that they are on their downturn. Well, maybe not, because in the offseason, this team took a situation that looked like they were going to lose some guys, but they re-signed some talented veterans, and they made some very brilliant picks. Let's talk about all that now on the PFIve. First thing first, Sao Paulo, Brazil is one of the 7 primetime games that you are going to be getting from the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's a record. These guys are going to be on so many main events. That Friday night to start the season, well, it's going to be the Chargers and the Chiefs in Brazil. Then you're going to get Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day with the Kansas City Chiefs. It seems like every time you turn around, whether it's on television or a live stream, you are going to get Andy Reid's red-helmeted Chiefs. Let's talk about protection for this team and some of the guys that they brought back and some of the guys that they are going to make sure that they brought in, and it looked like a risk, but Josh Simmons looks like a risk that's going to pay off. This guy could have been a top 10er, but last October for Ohio State, tore up his knee pretty bad. He was gone for the rest of the season. Teams were not willing to they were not willing to go ahead and invest in a guy that could be done. The Chiefs did their due diligence, and right now, Josh Simmons, the 31st pick in the draft overall, looks like a mountain of a man that really knows how to play left tackle. Looks like the future. I feel like they stole this guy, just like the runner-ups in 1983 with the 27th pick, because there was only 28 teams. The Miami Dolphins stole Dan Marino for different reasons. But that offensive line is even better because they brought back Trey Smith. It looked like they were not going to be able to get him back. They did. This team has stayed intact, and they're brilliant for it. Let's go ahead and talk about number 3. A lot of people think Patrick Mahomes, his skills are waning. Come on now. Now look, I get it. In the last 2 years, Mahomes has averaged 4,056 as far as passing yards, 27 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. Now, that is a lot less than what he was accustomed to 3 years prior. So those previous 3 seasons, before the last 2, he was averaging almost 5,000 yards, 4,943 to be exact, 39 touchdowns, so that's 12 more, and 10 interceptions to that 13. Now, you can say, well, his stats are going down. The only people that's going to affect, it's not going to affect the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to affect fantasy football owners. And guys, fantasy football owners, they don't care about you. The players do not care about you. Now look, if that's bad, if still 4,000 yards and 27 touchdown passes with only 3 more interceptions, if that's bad, that means that the running game is working too. But it's still 4,000. We celebrate 4,000 yards. Patrick Mahomes is not going anywhere, and they're still winning. Last 2 seasons, he led them to Super Bowls, led them to, my gosh, so many wins to nary a loss. With that being said, don't sleep on Patrick Mahomes. He's still pretty good. All right, another guy that they brought back is George Karlaftis. And there was some fear that they were going to lose, and they did lose some players. They lost Justin Reed. They have lost some players on that defense, but they also replenished by bringing in Christian Fulton as a defensive back. Chris Jones is still there. Nick Bolton is still there. But a guy that could really rise and shine is George Karlaftis. Now, he's only had 24 and a half sacks, and he has been over 10 before, but he seems to be on the way to superstardom. They gave him another contract, and he is such a talented defender. The former Purdue Boilermaker, George Karlaftis, look out for him to be a superstar on that defense. And there's other guys, Jones, Bolton, Fulton. There's more. Look for them to continue to shine as well. A guy that a lot of people are worried about here is Travis Kelce. Last year was still not a bad year. Yeah, just like Mahomes, his statistics went down. But in the playoffs, the guy was money once again. He's coming back. This could be his last year. He's coming back. He's one thing. He's seen how well his brother has done outside of football. Man, that guy is the face of the National Football League and the face of the fans as well. He is perfect for the league. Travis Kelce can do the same type of thing. I really wouldn't worry. They are still better with him than they are without him. But pass catchers need to step up. They do have some pretty good players here. They still have Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown should be back for a full year. You have the rookie, Jaylon, and then Juju Smith-Schuster still around, which he might be competing for a spot with some other guys. But the pass catchers need to step up, which just means they need to be more available. And they weren't all available last year for Patrick Mahomes. If they do, I think this team is so much better than they were in 2024. That's 5 things you need to know about the Kansas City Chiefs. For Pro Football Insiders, my name is Bryan Davis. Thanks so much for listening. We will have the Denver Broncos tomorrow as we continue on with the AFC West. But until then, thank you so much for listening. And we've got 2 words for you, and they're simple. Go football.